Welcome back to the Obsessive Gardener. It's been a minute and I apologize. Oh, a lot of stuff's been happening in my personal life, and not a good excuse though. I should always continue making videos. It's been over 2 months, I think, since my last video, so I apologize. And I apologize to all those out there who have been waiting patiently for me to send them seeds. I really don't have a good excuse. I can make up a few ones to make you sympathize with me, but I won't go there. So I apologize. I'm getting all those stamped up and ready to send out. I got like 20 something people. I want to say like 24, 25 people I need to send that are waiting for me to send them pepper seeds, bow and arrow seeds especially. Doing a grow out. A lot of people probably, by the time they get their seeds, maybe it's going to be too late to even get them going, but they do grow fast, so hopefully they should be able to get them done, get them grown, and get some pods this season. So sorry for the 20 some odd people out there that are waiting on seeds. I apologize. Anyways, let's look at the compost pile. Last time we looked at it, I added, I think, 4 or 5, maybe even 6 bags of used coffee grounds that I got from the local Starbucks. So I said in my last video that I wasn't gonna add any more to the compost pile, but I've got about 8 bags. I can't go, past the free bags of coffee grounds. So I'm gonna add about 8 bags right now, and that's gonna be it for the season. I'm usually not even able to grow peppers outside until about the first day of summer, June 21st, around that time. It's just so dang cold. As you can tell, there's a little bit of snow in the background, and on the ground. Enough with the chitter chatter. Let's take a look at the compost pile, see how it's looking, see how the worms are doing, if they're alive in there still, and we'll add some more coffee grounds. All right. There's the kiddie pool planter box. I think I'm going to move it a little farther over here so it gets more sun this summer. It spends a lot of time in the shade, which they didn't do as well as I'd hoped in this spot right here. But anyways, here's the compost pile we're going to add to today. There's my old compost pile that it's actually about 2.5 years old. I mean, I don't think I've added to it in at least 2 years. So it's left over from last year. That's what I didn't use, and then should be able to use this nice pile right here this year. And this pile, what's cool about this compost pile is this is all wood chips and coffee grounds, and a little bit of extra stuff I added in there too, but not much. I don't know if you remember my last video. I added human urine to it, which I think really helped break it down. Let's take a look. Last time I came out here, this tarp was frozen to the compost, but as you can see, there's a lot of wood chips in there still. But I started this less than a year ago, and by adding coffee grounds and covering it, I also added worms and worm castings to it. At the end of the year, I emptied that bucket and another bucket I have in the backyard that was just full of worms and worm castings into this, which that also helps too. Break it down. The worms want to eat all that, and I already see worms. I already see some worms in there. There's one right there. Bam. So the worms are still there, and they're at the top of the pile. I see them. I don't know if you can see that. They're moving around as I move this compost. So they're doing their job. It's awesome. There's probably a few thousand red wigglers that I dumped in here in the fall. And yeah, this is looking good. Still a lot of visible wood chips, but still a lot of broken down. Look at all those worms, dude. Still very cold, like it just thawed out. So yeah, wow, look at that. Look at those worms. A lot of worms. So I'm going to open this thing up. I'm going to try to not hurt the worms. I'm going to open up a hole right in the middle like a volcano, and I'm just going to add all the worm castings into the middle, cover it up, and we'll take another look at it probably late May. All right, I opened up a nice hole here. It's very healthy looking compost pile. See this stuff? I forget what it's called. I probably should have Googled it real quick. It looks like ash, but it's actually a fungus. Somebody in the comments, please remind me what that's called. It's like right on the tip of my brain. I can't think of it though. But it looks almost like ash, and I used to think it was, but it's not. It's like it's a fungus that's a good way to know your compost pile is doing good if it has ashy looking stuff in it. That's the fungus or bacteria or both or whatever from the composting that's going on in here. It does get very hot though from the nitrogen from the coffee grounds, which is good for the worms in the wintertime because it keeps them warm. But anyways, I'm going to add all those bags, about 8 bags. I think there's 8 bags. Or there's a few more I need to go grab that are in the front yard. But I'm going to have 8 bags, and I'm just going to put them all right in the middle. Cover it up. It's already moist, so I don't need to get it wet. Even though I might put some of this melted snow water. There's a bunch in there. A bunch in there. Probably hard to tell, but that's filled with water from snow melting. And there's some over there in that black container as well. So I might throw some of that on it just to use some of the natural rainwater, snow water, whatever you want to call it, to my compost pile. Don't tell the cops because I think that's illegal. All right, there we go. It's probably hard to tell, but that's all coffee in the middle. That's 8 bags of coffee grounds from Starbucks. I get a lot of these espresso like chunks. I try to break those up a little bit. I probably wouldn't be adding to this so late, but I know that there's, especially since we checked, there are thousands of worms in here, and they will gobble up those coffee grounds. I'm breathing hard because I'm fat. They will gobble up those coffee grounds super quick, and they love coffee grounds, and it's easy for them to digest and eat and stuff. And so between that and the actual, composting process, they will those coffee grounds will be gone in the next 2 months, no problem. They will be almost for sure all worm castings for the most part. And don't ever do this in like a closed environment. Make sure the worms can get away, and the worms can get out and go away. So all right, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna toss a little bit of rainwater that I didn't purposely collect. It was all on accident, okay? So don't call the cops. If you do, you know what happens to cop collars around here, right? We compost them, okay? So I don't mess around with that. All right, so I'll do another video when this is all done, showing how I'm going to sift the wood chips that are left in there out, and I'm going to use those as mulch. And we'll show you the final product. Make sure to leave a comment below if you have any suggestions, ideas, questions, anything. Tell me what you think. Make sure you like this video, and if you like this kind of content, please subscribe. I'd be very grateful. And thanks for watching. See you later.